60 of the world's most venomous snake species, a jellyfish that can stop a human heart in minutes, saltwater crocodiles patrolling entire coastlines. This is what 25 million Australians wake up to. Surviving among the deadliest animals on Earth isn't luck. But to understand how they do it, you first need to understand why this continent became so lethal in the first place. This global reputation for danger is not an exaggeration born of internet folklore. It is a measurable biological reality. Australia is home to an extraordinary concentration of lethal fauna. Of the estimated 300 elipid snake species globally, the family is characterized by short fixed fangs and potent neurovenom. Roughly 60 of those species crawl across this single continent. This distinct evolutionary footprint produces a lineup of species that commands respect from toxicologists worldwide. In the tropical north, saltwater crocodiles grow up to 6 meters long, patrolling rivers and coastal estuaries with ancient, patient aggression. In the warm coastal shallows, the nearly invisible box jellyfish floats, armed with microscopic darts capable of delivering rapid, cardiac-stopping venom. On land, the damp forests of the East Coast shelter the funnel-web spider, while shallow rock pools along the coast harbor the blue-ringed octopus, carrying toxins with no known antivenom. Out in the deep waters, great white sharks follow cold southern currents. It is a diverse and formidable roster of apex predators and venomous specialists, all sharing a single, vast landmass. This concentration of venomous species is the result of millions of years of geographic separation. Around 100 million years ago, the supercontinent Gondwana began to break apart, sending the landmass that would become Australia drifting north into complete isolation. For tens of millions of years, this island continent existed as a closed evolutionary laboratory, free from the pressures occurring across the rest of the globe. When the land drifted away, it carried ancestral species that already possessed primitive venom systems, particularly early elipid snakes. Without competition from large placental mammalian predators or rival snake families like vipers, which never reached these shores, these venomous pioneers experienced a rapid adaptive radiation. They claimed open ecological niches across the changing environment as the continent grew increasingly arid and warm. The isolation allowed these ancient lineages to persist while developing novel forms to cope with the extreme climate gradients. In this harsh, low-productivity environment, venom became an incredibly effective survival tool. Instead of expending precious energy on physical struggle, a single, toxic bite could instantly subdue prey. Natural selection refined these chemical weapons over generations, driving the diversification of terrestrial snakes into more than 80 distinct elapid species. Today, venomous species make up roughly 24% of Australian snake communities, double the global average of 12%. This evolutionary trajectory was not a random descent into danger, but a highly logical adaptation to a changing land. Living alongside these evolutionary specialists does not require constant fear, but a firmly ingrained culture of practical preparation. This approach is not a modern invention, it is an inheritance. For tens of thousands of years, First Nations peoples have managed these ecosystems through detailed, place-based ecological knowledge. Today, Indigenous ranger programs formalize this long-duration expertise under approved, paid, on-country protocols and reviews, ensuring traditional calendars predict exactly when snakes emerge, or when marine stingers gather. This foundation of respect rather than terror has shaped the broader national character. Archival records from early rural settlements preserve photographs of schoolchildren learning basic bushcraft, lessons passed down through generations to navigate the bush safely. Australians absorb this caution from early childhood. It is an education rooted in familiarity, designed to replace panic with systematic habits. By the time they reach adulthood, the response to a venomous reptile or a toxic insect is not a dramatic confrontation, but a quiet, calculated reaction. Coexistence is not an accident of geography. It is a learned intergenerational discipline of calm vigilance. It is a shared national understanding that preparation, not hysteria, is the true key to survival. This preparation translates directly into muscle memory. In suburban backyards and rural properties alike, checking work boots is an involuntary reflex. A quick shake of a shoe before sliding a foot inside dislodges huntsmen's or funnel webs seeking dark shelter. Indoors, the underside of toilet seats and damp bathroom corners receive a routine glance, ensuring no venomous spiders have crawled up through the plumbing. In the tropical north, this caution extends to the water's edge. Any unmarked stream, billabong, or coastal estuary is treated as active crocodile territory. Swimming is restricted to designated, net-protected beaches, and standing near muddy banks is avoided. By converting potential hazards into simple, daily safety checks, the threat of lethal encounters is systematically neutralized. Survival relies on quiet, repetitive habits practiced until they are second nature. In the remote mining town of Mount Isa, Queensland, this protective discipline is a lived reality. 37-year-old resident Jamie had a sudden encounter with a highly lethal reptile, and he responded with quiet, methodical action. While walking his dog near his home in early 2024, a suspected eastern brown snake struck his ankle. Rather than running, which would rapidly pump the highly toxic venom through his lymphatic system, Jamie remained completely still. His family immediately applied a tight pressure bandage to immobilize his leg before calling emergency services. 2 days later, Jamie walked out of the hospital with a clean bill of health. In these isolated desert communities, people discuss such encounters without theatricality or fear. Repetition converts daily vigilance into ordinary competence, transforming a potentially lethal event into a managed household task. For those living in the outback, managing the presence of venomous wildlife is simply another chore, handled with the same calm utility as clearing a dry paddock or checking a rain gauge. The damp backyard gardens of Sydney harbor another legendary hazard, the Sydney funnel web spider. Its fast-acting neurotoxin can kill a human in 15 minutes. Yet there has been a clean record of 0 deaths since 1981. That was the year medical researcher Struan Sutherland developed a successful antivenom. Today, this survival network relies on the Australian Reptile Park, where keepers milk over 2,000 spiders. Sent to labs at CSL Sekeroos, this venom is converted into antibodies, ensuring that an encounter with one of the world's most dangerous spiders is no longer a death sentence. In the tropical north, the nature of risk changes from backyard spiders to vast, seasonal, aquatic frontiers. From October to May, stinger season transforms pristine coastal waters into active hazard zones, as nearly invisible box jellyfish drift near the shoreline. Lifeguards and park rangers shift from passive observers to active gatekeepers of these environments. They string heavy, fine mesh stinger nets across popular swimming beaches and monitor red and yellow warning signs that alert tourists to invisible ocean threats. Further inland, rangers track saltwater crocodiles patrolling muddy estuaries and river mouths, enforcing strict swimming bans where predators dominate. Coexistence here is defined by precise regional boundaries and seasonal discipline. The statistical reality of Australian wildlife mortality contains a striking reversal. While international attention focuses on apex predators and venomous specialists, everyday domestic animals pose the greatest physical threat. Over a 20-year period, horse riding accidents and agricultural mishaps caused 222 fatalities. When combined with bee stings and kangaroo collisions, these common encounters claim far more lives annually than sharks, spiders, and crocodiles combined. The creatures that dominate global nightmares represent only a tiny fraction of actual risk, shifting the story of survival from primeval dread to practical, everyday awareness. Ultimately, Australia teaches us that survival is not about conquering the wild, but understanding our place within it. As we push further into natural habitats worldwide, this quiet coexistence offers a vital blueprint. Safety begins with respect, not fear. Share your thoughts in the comments below.